Welcome to Talk Sporty to Me, a Sports with Aliyah talk show. Today's guest is Marcus Tuggle, and he owns a sport management company, and it's just the coolest thing ever. So would you like to explain kind of what you do?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. The name of the company is WSU Sports Management. We are a full-based company. We deal with our players on the field, off the field. We have a financial services under our company, management services, player development, and we also take care of our players after their career. We keep the longevity relationship with them to, build the brotherhood and keep us a strong family. So it's been a blessing to do it. We're going on about a year and a half now. I've been in the sports management world for about 9 years now, so it's been a great experience. Met some great people and built some great relationships, and I plan on just to pursue it the best way I can possible and to have it be right here in Wichita.
I love that. And before we were actually rolling, you were talking about the difference between a sports agency and then a more of a sports management. Mm-hmm. So can you just kind of explain what you told me earlier about how you look at the players from all around, between how they're acting, how they're seen by the media, about just everything?
I think most players kind of grow into it because once you get to that platform, you're watched every possible way, from your Twitter, your Instagram, Snapchats, even sometimes when you don't think you're watched, the camera's on you. So I think it's a great thing that what we have, because we're not only teaching players, oh, we can sign you to Nike, we can sign you to this and that. We're teaching them how to speak in public, speak during interviews, go out and do more in the community. So it's a great thing. The difference between the management and the agency part is, I would say, is the agents, most agents, they worried about pure contract, such as what can I get you signed to, such as team-wise. So that's kind of a main agent's focus. The management side of it is, hey, I want to know more about just you, the player. I want to know about you, the person, your family, what's your future goals, your wife, things like that. So I think that's where we're kind of winning at, is we're worried about more than just the player. We're worried about you all around, and we want to help you from this point on that you sign the paper with us to whatever we decide to do. And, I pray we never split this relationship. I mean, I think it's great to have guys to start their own after a while. So I think that's something that we're going to dominate the market with.
And I think that it's something that not a lot of other people have caught on to, because we're so used to just the agents and what they do. But especially now in 2019, where social media is huge and fans feel like they know the players a lot better, and that personal relationship is so much more important now. I feel like what you're doing is just perfect for 2019 and where the sport industry is going.
Definitely, and I appreciate it. And the crazy thing is, sometimes the fans know the player more than the agent does.
Yeah.
So it's like, what industry should you really be in? So yeah, it's a great experience. I love it, and the great thing about it is being able to bring it back home. Started out first in Houston with Maurice Evans, my mentor. He probably taught me everything I need to know about this. During his time of negotiating the CBA for the NBA, I was learning. So it was like I was getting it right then and there, and I can tell you, it has its ups and downs. No matter you hear the $1 million that the guys sign, sometimes those guys don't get the happiness with it. So sometimes you got to really take that time with your guys. And I think that's the part where I love so much, is building that bond with the guys and really just developing something great.
That's amazing. I didn't even know all of that until literally right now.
Oh yeah, you could have $1 million and go in stress.
Yeah. But so how did that mentorship start? How did you secure that and build that relationship with him? How did that all work out for you?
Well, Maurice has always been a great guy to me in the city, period. I went to church with Maurice. So, it was more of a family bond thing. He took care of all the kids at the church. He would always come and see us and not talk about basketball. He would, hey, how's your grades? Hey, how's life? And I realized, I was like, this guy's the NBA player, and he's not even talking about basketball. But, sitting back and watching the TV, we think, hey, this should be basketball. Well, Maurice taught me that it's more than basketball, there's more than money, there's life, there's love. So it was things like that he was teaching me, and I was like, this is the way I want my guys to deal with me. Like, I don't want my guys just to talk to me and call me when they want to talk about money. I want you to call me when stuff is going good in the family, when you have events. I want to come to your wedding. I want to be that guy for you, you know? So it's just a great experience to have that. And so when you have that from Maurice, and you want to transfer that to your clients. So that's why I think right now we're winning so much and we're growing pretty fast, because I'll be honest, I didn't expect to sign as many guys I did right off the bat. I thought it was going to be a struggle just due to my experience and I'm so young. But the great thing is now, even the older companies, they're like, dude, keep going. so it's like, just keep going. I get invited to great events. So it's just been a blessing, and I'm just so ready to just push it forward. But, you know, sometimes you have to kind of be patient on it, but I'll be ready to push it forward still.
I love that. And another reason why I really wanted you on the show is because I know personally that is so hard to start a brand, even if it's just my personal brand of sports reporting, but starting something from the ground up is so hard to do. And you've had a lot of success early on, but can you just kind of tell us about what it's like to start something from the ground up and how to remain persistent when things are slow at first and everything?
It's tough. Starting things from the ground up, you deal with the positives and the negatives, and you probably deal with the negatives more than the positives, regardless of how many likes that post might got or that attention a video has given you. There's still so much background work people don't see. I mean, as you would know, you know, we're in front of the cameras right now, but nobody knows how much work you put behind the camera to set it up, the lightings, the camera guys, So it's just so much work, and then, you know, sometimes you just feel like it's not good enough, and then sometimes you feel like you don't have the support from everyone. So it was tough. It was real tough, because when I started, my attorney told me, he said, man, listen here, we're going to do this, but we might need to slow down doing it because we want to do it the right way. So with that being said, it was times where I thought I could sign a certain player, but I couldn't afford him at the time. So I was like, no, I think we can still do it. Like, he's like, no, we can't do it. Like, you know, and then it was times where I called my brothers and I called my mom and I said, Mom, I think I just need to throw in the towel. She said, throw in the towel? She said, no, you better take that towel, wipe your face, and keep going. So it was things like that that I definitely kept going with. And I think it's just all about staying consistent. People seeing you actively, I think that helps a lot. Like, I saw you first. I mean, I think I kind of knew you before you knew me, because I was just looking and I was like, man, this girl's everywhere. And then, you know, I've heard people say, you never heard of Sports with Aliyah? I said, man, I heard, but, you know, I've never actually engaged with her, so I think it was just real dope, and I think the hustle shows itself, and your hustle has definitely been showed. So I just think it's just something that you just have to really just treat yourself better. You know, really, sometimes I had to take my phone and just put it to the side and, like, get my thoughts together. My brother would take me fishing, so that would be something that I've kind of caught on to and just really relaxed with. So it's been great. It's been great, but it's worth it always.
It seems like Wichita, the community has really bought into what you do, and I see that you support other Wichita businesses. So how important is it to just kind of give back to the community that's also giving to you?
I think that's a huge part. I don't think anyone will sit at the top of their game and be there alone. I mean, you look at sports today, the LeBron Jameses, the Steph Currys, Kawhi Leonards, I mean, the Cam Newtons, I mean, Tom Brady's, anyone you want to name, no one has done it by themselves. It's either took a coach, many of teammates practice at that. So I think it's great. The reason I do support so many local people, period, is because I remember just 2 or 3 years ago, I was just trying to get 10 likes on my page. So, you know, when I see that, I'm like, man, I want to share this stuff. You know, when I see you post, man, I want to share that. I want to share it because I know probably what it took to get you to make that video, to make that company, to even come out and say, hey guys, I want to start my own company. That's huge, because a lot of people look at you like, what? Like, you don't even have the money that's needed. Well, no duh, I don't have the money. So it's like, that's where the hustle comes in. So I think it's dope to always support people and show them that, hey, I was with you right there. So we can elevate together. So.
Yeah, that definitely reminds me. I attended a Women Leaders in College Sports Symposium, and their catchphrase was, we rise by lifting others. And I love that you made that point, because trying to get to the top, you can't do that alone, and you can't do that by only supporting your own brand and business. So I love that you brought that up.
Most definitely.
So speaking of now your brand and your company and everything, who was the first professional athlete that you signed, and what did that feel like to finally sign with a professional?
His name was Claude Pellin. He came out of USC, defensive tackle, DN. I'll be honest, well, I went to community college with him, but I'll be honest, it was a shocker to me still. You know, even with having the relationship with him, it was a shocker to me still, because I was like, because if you realize the process that he's trusting you with his future. It's not just him to go to the NFL, it's trusting him with his future, such as that's how he wants to feed his family, that's how he wants to build himself. So it was something that I was like, it's time to work. Like, I remember the night I signed him, you know, we're at the little event having dinner, you know, it was just small get together with the family. And then we everyone split. I was in Houston at the time. And then I went back to the hotel and I was like, what the hell just happened? But then I realized, I said, man, this is possible. It gives you the motive to say that this is possible, because you do good with this guy will go back to that college locker room and his professional locker room, and he'll let people know. So then after a while, I started receiving, you know, Instagram messages like, man, I heard you represent this dude. Yeah, dude, what's up? Well, I wanted to meet with you. I was like, well, I just signed him like 2 days ago. I mean, I haven't been able to do anything. Yeah, but you seem pretty cool. And so it was a great thing. And then Maurice was right there with me during the whole time of, you know, giving me that experience. And I watched Maurice, you know, sign guys. You know, a lot of people don't know, but Maurice and, you know, his agent, Roger Montgomery, they were responsible for the Jeremy Lin guy. So I got to witness Jeremy Lin's growth, his growth inside business and also on the TV. So I think that was a real dope experience and something that has really, you know, just shockingly surprised me, because it's like, I'd never seen Jeremy Lin to become that big. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Jeremy Lin was one of the biggest athletes at the time in the NBA. So it was just a great experience to witness it and just to grow through it all. So I would say mine was pretty crazy.
And then who are a few of the other athletes that you represent? I know there's so many to talk about, but just a few.
I'll just name a few, yeah. Kyle Wilson, Wichita, Kansas, plays for the Los Angeles Chargers right now, linebacker. Great guy, very humble, a guy that has a motor, and he just has this chip on his shoulder to where he won't say much, but when he's playing, it's like you see everything that he's been going through, you know, the flying to the ball and everything like that. And then John Brown, receiver out of Buffalo. He plays for the Buffalo Bills. Again, another guy I went to Coffeyville Community College with. We both were going through a very hard time our last year at Coffeyville, just due to coaching, switching, and just not knowing where we were going in life. So it's just amazing seeing these guys come up, and now we're sitting up here to talk and having different conversations, but we're the same people. So John Brown, Tyler Ferguson, Tennessee Titans. I mean, B.W. Webb, Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, I could go on, but the great thing is all these guys, we have a bond that has just been built over time, you know, and that's my thing. If I want to represent a guy, I don't want to just, if I want to know your stats, I tell him, hey, dude, I don't care about your stats. No disrespect, but I don't care, because I can go find that on NFL.com, NBA.com, Bleach Report, all that. I want to know about the actual person, because in the long run, when things happen, I'll know, you know, the actual you. I won't worry about the media and all the clicks and things like that. So I try to build the brotherly bond with people before I actually consider signing them or consider moving forward with them, period. So
yeah, and that's definitely something I was going to ask you about, because like you said, you are helping with their entire future and their career. So how do you kind of build those relationships and get these athletes to trust you and to buy into everything that you are and that you believe in? How do you do that?
Well, I don't want to put it like I'm doing something so crazy. I think we all do it daily. You know, meeting friends and, you know, growing up with friends. You know, they turn into different careers, such as with you. I mean, I'm pretty sure the guys that were talking with you about Sports with Aliyah are probably like, dang, why didn't we stay on and, you know, listen to her the whole time? Because now, you know, look what you're doing. So I think it's just great to just keep those relationships. I think relationships are very important in life, even if you have something on bad terms with somebody. I mean, I've been on bad terms with a player before, but I went back and I corrected my wrongs. So like, hey, I was wrong. I admit that was 100% me, you know, and it's just building that trust. You know, if you can build trust with anybody, it's the same way as signing a player. It's just building the trust, being honest, and just telling them straightforward, like, hey, if I can do it, I'll do it. If not, hey, you kind of got to hit them like, hey, bro, this might not be it, you know? And so it's kind of like you got to put your life in their hands, but then they're also putting their life in your hands.
Wow.
So it's like, we have to be back to back to this because nobody else in this room negotiating is going to be for us. So I think it's just been great just building bonds. And I mean, honestly, I think it would be something that you would just dominate just due to talk shows and things like that. This is the sports world, and we all build bonds with each other in relationships. So I feel like it's just something great. I mean, so it's a lot of work though, don't get me wrong, because sometimes I think the hardest thing is getting the players' attention. So say if it's a guy right now that probably pays for the Suns, I want to sign him. It's like, dang, how do I get that guy's attention? Yeah, we have Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, but it's like, how many people are messaging him? So it's really, you have to put in that work. You have to travel down there and probably, without even talking to him, you have to travel to that city and hoping to get in contact with him. So it's pretty tough, but I think it's real great. If being a people person, it helps. So I think that's where it comes in at. So it's tough, but it's worth it.
Like the Dr. Phil of the sports world. That was very inspirational. It seems like you can solve anyone's problem.
If Dr. Phil was in this world, I probably wouldn't be going to sports. I'll leave sports still.
So in addition to everything you're doing with the sports management, you also have your own clothing brand, Mute Haters. Can you tell us about that?
That was actually born before Thrive. It just Thrive grew so quick. It was like, whoa, hold up. Like, so the Mute Haters company clothing brand started in 2012, leaving community college. It was a brand that we connected with just through motivation, literally Mute Haters. A bunch of Wichita guys, you know, being athletic, battling guys from all over the country. We found a way to keep ourselves motivated. So it was Mute Haters, because if, you know, we were thinking like, you know, if we just focus on us and mute them, we would proceed. We would do better than what we want to do. We would do good, period. So that was something that I started, and it actually pretty much took off through the athletes. The athletes were the first ones that started to wear it. So when they started to wear it, of course, other people were like, where are you getting these shirts? Tuggle, can I have one? And then I kind of started that hustle, and that hustle for about a year and a half paid the bills. So, you know, it was a great thing to get that. And then I was like, then Maurice was like, man, you kind of already into sports management. You know that, right? And I was like, no, I'm not. He's like, same way you get a player to buy what you want, that $20 shirt or $15 shirt, it's the same way you can get the commitment. But the commitment is different. You have to actually work. So it took the back burner, but it is still going. The great thing is I have partners that are working with the Mute Haters now to where it's still going to stay standing. And the great thing is that's the same thing I want to do with Thrive, is build it up, and get us a nice staff under it and keep it running to keep two companies going. And it's been a blessing. It's been a work experience, but it's been lovely. It's been very lovely.
That's so impressive. Like I need to do that with mine. I need to start making some mugs and some shirts of Sports with Aliyah, though.
I think you're winning with what you're doing. I think you're winning.
So what do you have coming up? What do you have planned? Everything like that?
I will be representing not only Thrive Sports, but Wichita at the ESPYs this year. I'll be attending that this year, so I'm kind of excited for that. So
what are you doing there?
I don't know. To be honest, I was invited to plenty of parties, and I was like, this is actually a dope experience. So I just got invited probably about 3 days ago, and our phone was just shaking. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to the ESPYs. So it's like, it's a dope experience. I'm hoping to meet everyone I can. So yeah, I'm excited to represent not only Thrive, but Wichita, period, going out to LA for the ESPYs.
That's just so exciting that you got invited, and I cannot wait to hear all about it. So you'll definitely have to come back on the show and let us know how it went. But now, speaking of representing Wichita and giving back to the community, what other events do you have planned for Wichita this summer? We
have the Wichita Dreams football camp, July 19th. It's actually free to every kid. We will be gathering all the athletes together from Wichita, from the Dreamer Smiths to the Albert Macks, the Brown brothers, Cameron Wembley, Kyle Wilson, I can go on. Anyone that has came out of Wichita and with professional football, they will be at this camp, and it's a free camp. We will be there supplying kids. I think last year we had about 320 kids. So we're actually trying to beat that number, and we have some great special guest appearances I cannot share yet, but the guest appearances will be dope, and I think everyone will love it. Everyone loves these guys, so I'm just excited to do that for the city as well. And a free camp, that's incredible, especially with all of these athletes. Just how important is it to
like I said earlier, give back to the community, especially for kids. These athletes are their role models, and they're getting to learn from them for free.
I think that's very important. I think that should be an athlete's top priority. It's because not only are those the people that's watching you and spending the money on your jersey and things like that, but that's the next generation coming up. So we have to. It's our job to keep it going to where we can keep inspiring these guys. And what we're doing right now is we're going to start athletes in the classroom, such as everyone knows, to be a great athlete, you have to practice. But the one thing they don't understand is you're a student athlete. You're a student first. So, educating yourself on, the future, on your future period would be probably the smartest thing. So that's something that we definitely want to start athletes in the classroom. So I think that's something that every athlete should do, is make sure they're part of their community.
You're also planning something exciting with something that's very dear to my heart, the Wichita State Sports Management program. So what do you have in the works with them that you can tell us about?
Our goal with building with WSU is because what we realized is we have one of the best sports management programs, one of the best business programs right here in the city. And I feel bad because I haven't been working as I needed to with WSU. So what I plan on doing is building that bridge to where these students can get the experience for working under an agency, whether that's just spending the summer with us, whether that's just coming in the office, seeing how we operate day to day, or maybe that's us coming to them, helping them in the classroom, giving them experience. So that's something that we've been working on for about 3 months, me, Cameron Wembley, and everyone at the K Plaza on the 21st Street right by the WSU programs.
Yeah.
That's what we're working on, is to building that bridge to where those WSU guys would feel, guys, gals, they would feel just great to walk over and say, hey, we're in sports management. We want to kind of work with you guys. We're open to it. And that's something that we want to always keep the door open, is for the WSU kids. And so that's something that we're really going to be working hard to bridge that gap this summer.
I love that, because I know so many of my friends want to do stuff like you're doing. In the Wichita State, the sport management program really values applied learning, and they always bring in guest speakers and let us know about opportunities like that. And so on the subject of getting in contact with you and getting to shadow you, what is your social media? Let them know where to find you.
My Facebook page is Marcus Tuggle Jr., and then you can also find the Thrive Sports page on there. Just look up Thrive Sports. Instagram, Mute Haters, MUTEH, the number 8, TRS. And then I have the Thrive Sports Management page as well. So those are the best ways to contact me. Or Snapchat, Twitter, Mute Haters, and same thing as Thrive Sports Management. I'm always active. I don't ignore anybody. I literally, even if you're not my friend, I check those private messages sometimes as well. So, because I don't want to be the guy that's not engaging with my community or with my people in Wichita. So I will always be open to that, and I will never close my door to that. So that's something that I hope everyone hears and knows, because sometimes people think, oh, he doesn't want to talk, or no, this is where I was born and raised, so this is a place I will always keep the door open to.
I love that. That's everything I'm passionate about too, is just helping others. Thank you so much for coming on to the show today. You were the perfect guest to have on, and I think a lot of my colleagues and people my age can benefit from learning from you, along with any age in this community. I just think what you're doing is amazing, and I wish you the best of luck with everything.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for watching Talk Sporty to Me. You can follow me on social media for more content, Funschelle18, and don't forget to subscribe to Sports with Aliyah on YouTube and like it on Facebook. And thank you so much to Action Jackson Productions for helping with the production of this show. And shout out to Shocker Studios for this amazing facility. Thanks for watching.